Welcome guys. Welcome to Daily Crypto Trading. Today we're going to do a TA of MultiVAC. Let's jump into it, guys. Today we're going to talk about the long-term price action and price target of MultiVAC. Not the short-term, but the long-term. Afterward, we're going to talk about the Bitcoin price action. What does that mean to MultiVAC? We're going to talk about the dominance of Bitcoin, altcoins, Ethereum, and stablecoins. We're going to talk about the fundamentals of MultiVAC and of course the new roadmap and what kind of indication or what kind of price action it will have for MultiVAC. We're going to talk about Altcoin Season Index, Crypto Fear Index, and we're going to talk about the realistic price target of MultiVAC. And let us not waste any time, guys, and jump straight into it. If you've been following my channel or my Twitter, you know I've been keen about this Wyckoff schematic, as you guys see in the right. The accumulation and the distribution phase or areas I have been talking about for months. I've been making TA videos for months about MultiVAC and this scenario that it will happen. There was a high probability, which played out perfectly. All right. So I'm still keen to this schematic because so far it's looking like it's going to happen. Now, a lot of people are taking this the negative way, you know, that I'm a very bearish on MultiVAC, which is not the case. I look at this in a technical point of view, all right? I don't want to speculate where my money is going. I want to make the right decision, the right investment. And if I believe that it's the wrong investment, I will take my money out. However, this is not the case for MultiVAC. Let's look at the schematic, the Wyckoff schematic with the accumulation and distribution phase and so on. This is actually playing out pretty well. We have the accumulation phase right there, reaccumulation phase. Then we have this big distribution pattern of phase where big players or players in general are just selling their token, their MultiVAC tokens off to get some profit, right? That is totally fine and perfectly normal. All right, there's a lot of big players at the moment selling off. And then we are seeing a redistribution phase. As I was talking about for months, you guys, if you haven't seen my video, that I was pretty sure that this is a redistribution phase, and I have posted on my Twitter. If you can follow my Twitter and my channel, and there was some negative comment that I was, bearish and so on. I am not a bear or a bull. For that case, I am an analyst, so I look at it in a technical point of view, and so far it's looking good. Look, my money is still in this project, so I have everything to lose as well. Of course, I don't never go all in any project, but I'm very bullish in the future for MultiVAC. And this is very normal market psychology, all right? When people tend to lose the value of the money, they get very frustrated and they get very angry. I will be talking about that later on. But if we just focus, the schematic is perfectly playing out. We are in the last phase, in my opinion, and that is the accumulation phase. And the accumulation area is at 0.005 and 0.003. It can go below 0.003 in my opinion. But that is where my buy zone will be. Now, this is not guarantee, only probability. Remember that, guys. It can get lower than that. Just don't think this is any guarantee when I make this video. I don't want to make you feel comfortable about this. This is trading, all right? Otherwise, it's just gambling. You believe it's just like this. There's no one way, all right? These are just schematics. This is extremely important to me to say because a lot of people think that I'm some kind of god, that I will just say that and it'll help them. It's not. All right, if that is the case, I will be rich long way. I mean, I'll be rich 8 years ago or 9 years ago when I start trading and my career. So that's not the case. Just so you guys know that I'm trying to be realistic with this. All right, I don't want to say you guys are going to the moon when that is not the case. I do believe we can get 100x strongly in a technical point of view and a speculative point of view, but just stay realistic. So yet again, look at the Wyckoff schematic about the accumulation, distribution phase and so on. Then the question is, where are we at the moment? Well, in my opinion, we are right here, right? We are right around this area. Now, why do I believe we are right there? The first thing is we had the redistribution phase. Are we done? I don't know yet. We might just keep continuing the redistribution phase before we go to the accumulation phase, as I was mentioning. But in my opinion, it is also looking like that we are going down. Now, if you look at the volume, just to back this up, if you look at the volume actually going down, right? Now people say, well, that is a bad thing because no volume means no price action. That is factually correct. However, the price action is also going down. And when the volume goes down and the pricing action going down, we do something like this, right? We make a trend right here, a trend line right over here, which means it is building up for some kind of volume spike to the upside. And this also backs up with the RSI stock. Now, That is why I'm saying, and what I believe, that we are around this area and we will see a big spike to the upside before we go down to the last area, which is the accumulation area, the accumulation phase, where we can accumulate more MultiVAC before we see a huge spike to the upside yet again. So if we look at the RSI actually below the 50 area, which means we are in a downtrend. It will have some kind of reversal. That is why I believe we will have a small spike to the upside, you know, just keep the FOMO to people, right? But before we see the true downside, where we can see it goes to the accumulation area. If you look at the RSI stock, yet again, we are heavily oversold. We are trying to push a bit up, as you guys are seeing, but not enough. That is why I believe we're still going down. I believe we might see a push up, like I said before we go down yet again. Then we are again oversold. Now, this is a great area to be. This is the accumulation area, as I call it, in the RSI stock. This is where you buy, all right, and once it goes up, you sell. Pretty simple if you're a trader, right? Well, not that simple if you have no risk management. If you look at the MACD, the MACD is in a turning point, but again, it's still too early to say. Remember, this is in the weekly, and if you look at these candlesticks, these represent one weekly candlestick, all right? So there's a lot of candlestick right there. So this is why I'm saying this is in the long term, all right? This will not happen overnight. It will take weeks before this unfolds. So have patience, because patience is key. I waited, I believe, 2 to 3 years before I saw great gains, as I showed in my trading if you're following my channel. So in my opinion, MultiVAC is still looking good. In a technical point of view, we are still following the schematic, actually pretty great. Normally when we follow some schematic, it's not spot on, but this is pretty spot on so far. Now, it doesn't have to play out like this. There is another schematic which I will show you guys just in a moment. And let's look at the other schematic. Now, this usually is a Wall Street cheat sheet, but there are some crypto trader who made this cheat sheet as well, and they are pretty similar. This is what we call a market psychology, all right? Remember, trading is nothing more than human emotions and a lot of manipulation from the big players. All right, so these kind of schematic, I mean, we saw this in 2017 and 18 with Bitcoin and with other stocks and so on. So this is actually pretty similar. Now, if you just look at the MultiVAC chart and the weekly and this, guys, this is extremely similar, right? Come on, a lot of people who bought there caught themselves there in inferior state that they are genius, right? They are going to buy Lambos, this is easy money and so on. So it fell down, all right? So as you guys can see, these are pretty similar, all right? So the question is, where are we at the moment? Well, in my opinion, we are getting close to the phase 10 and the anger, all right? A lot of people are getting angry at the team. If you just read the team, where is the team? Why is that doxed? And that is great question, to be honest. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you just look at people that get frustrated at the moment, we are getting this anger, the anger phase, right? So we're still not in this accumulation area as I'm talking about. Now, what will happen right after? There will be a spike. All right, listen to my word carefully. I do believe strongly there will be a spike to the upside right before we see some downside. Now, if this is only a probability, no guarantee, it can just go up, 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 and that will make me glad and you glad probably. But I do believe this is a higher probability for this case. So we will see some kind of spike. So I believe we are right over here in the anger phase to we see some kind of spike, but it will not go above this and will just go down yet again. And right here to we go to the panic area, right? To the depression. All right, when that is the question where you should I get out? You know, you question yourself, is this even a great project, right? Are the team there? Is Sean doing the right thing? You know, these kind of questions you have in your mind. All right, this is very normal market psychology. Now, don't get me wrong. This project maybe never go to the all-time high yet again, but it will never ever do that, right? But this is still a probability. So when you invest in something, is no guarantee. All right, I personally believe that we will have some upside, but again, no guarantee. But that's also why I invest in this. Otherwise, I will just go out if I want to do that. Something else we can use to back these kind of schematics up is something else which I also have been talking about, guys. If you follow my channel, you know about the Wyckoff price cycle, all right? Now, if you don't know, let me just explain you. I've been explaining this if people follow me intense, they know about this because I will not only use it in MultiVAC, I also use it on my other long-term project. but this is, if it made me so great money to use these kind of indicators. So let me explain about this, guys. So we have two areas. As you guys are seeing, we have the oversold area, and then we have the overbought area, all right? The oversold area is the what we call the accumulation area, like here, if you see at the left side in the chart, right? This is where the demand is greater than the supply. Now, remember that the demand is greater than the supply. There's so much liquidity getting ready to go into MultiVAC that the supply is too low. And what happens when there's a low supply and more demands more money? Well, the price surge. The token gets more valuable, all right? This is important to understand, one-on-one economic, all right? And then suddenly we see a markup, we see a build-up, a tension, a price action. Now the thing is getting overbought. Now this is where the supply is greater than demand. There's so much supply. People are ready, the big players are saying, you know what? Right over here, this is the supply zone, as we call it. This is where the liquidity is getting thin and people are ready to sell it. Now, when things are getting ready to sell, then they lose value in the token, all right? Nothing more than that. This is one-on-one economic. So demand greater than the supply, we see a price up. So supply greater than demand, way too much supply ready in these kind of areas, we see a drop down. Now these kind of price action, price cycle, you can use in a small time frame or big time frame. At the moment we are using the weekly chart, so this is of course a big time frame. So this actually explains perfectly the price cycle and the market psychology. Now let's also put it in terms in MultiVAC. So how would it look on MultiVAC? Well, let's draw it, right? So if we just draw it like this, it will not be that beautiful, but you will guys get the point, all right? And something like this, all right? And then we'll just keep going up. That is what we hope, of course, all right? So this is the oversold. This is a S. If you consider it, look like a 5. This is the overbought area. That is a nice B. Oh my God, this is not a nice B. Let me just, I'm gonna make a more beautiful B. Oh, there we go. There we go. That's a lot better. All right. As you guys are seeing at the moment, it's playing out perfectly. All right. We are seeing right over here oversold, and we are seeing right over here overbought area. All right. This is one-of-one TA. All right. In the technical point of view, this is how I look at things, and how I look at things is like that. Now, in my opinion, we are getting close to the oversold area. Now, I can back this up by something else. Look at the RSI stock, oversold. Just look at the RSI stock right here, oversold and overbought. That is why I'm saying, and I know this is a lot more oversold at the moment, the terms are longer, but that is because MultiVAC, like anything and other altcoins, are correlated with the Bitcoin price and Bitcoin price action. I will be back about that soon enough. So understand that at the moment in the Wyckoff price cycle, we are in the oversold area. So we are at the moment building up. Remember, we are building tension to a markup. All right. Is this any guarantee yet again? No, it's not. Remember, I am not your financial advisor. Always do your own due diligence. All right. All right. You might get yourself wrecked. And as I was talking about before, MultiVAC, like other altcoins, are heavily correlated with the Bitcoin price action. So if Bitcoin rallies up way too fast, altcoins such as MultiVAC will go fast down. If Bitcoin drops, well, MultiVAC drops with it, all right? It's kind of annoying, but that is how it is. And usually Bitcoin is also correlated with the traditional markets such as the stock market, SPY, and so on. So when the traditional markets are doing bad, Bitcoin most likely will do bad, all right? If Bitcoin goes sideways or slowly up, that is where the altcoins shine. So that is why I'm saying there's no guarantee that MultiVAC will follow this pattern. However, there's a high probability, but no guarantee. So if, and again, there's a big if, Bitcoin drops down, it will drag all the altcoins such as MultiVAC down with it. Remember that, guys. This is extremely important to understand because people who are newcomers have no idea how correlated altcoins are with Bitcoin, especially micro cap altcoins such as MultiVAC. I mean, if you just are looking at the market cap, is 20 billion. All right, that's a 20 million, not 20. If it's 20 billion, I will be freaking happy. All right, I will be rich, to be honest, but it's 20 million, and that is nothing compared to the layer 1 solution out there. So that is why I'm saying it has a huge potential to upside, to great gain. I mean, to make a 10x is 200 million. To make a 100x from now on is to 2 billion. And that is a high possibility. I mean, there's a really bad altcoins over there. No, I'm not going to trash in altcoins, but there are really bad altcoins over there. There are meme coins over there who have a 1 billion market cap. I mean, it's just insane. And you don't need 2 billion or 1 million. You need a couple of million to affect the market. All right. So in a bull market, a couple of $1 million into MultiVAC will have a huge impact on the price surge. That is why I'm so confident of this project. However, of course, there are some red flags, which I will be talking about in a moment, guys. So let's look at the fundamental change for MultiVAC. Now, I'm not going to go through of all of this. You guys can go to the mtv.ac. That is the official website. You can read the new roadmap. However, I do see some unlikable roadmap. The ecosystem construction, I do like that. I do like to see the wrap tokens. Now, this is a huge impact in any ecosystem, all right? It's extremely important that you can wrap the token to other blockchains. They will provide liquidity from other blockchains and extremely great in DeFi application, right? So this is important. That is what they're working with. I believe they have a partner with, I don't remember if it was Reliable, something like that. Where they have a partnership where they can also be wrapped around stablecoin, which is pretty great. Not pretty good, it is awesome, all right? They are talking about the MultiVAC hackathon. They were going to do it in January, but of course they postponed it. And they are making the NFT community, MTV art, where a lot of NFT project can be built on. They're going to make an ecosystem grant program where they help developers using the blockchain, the layer 1. They're going to the fiat on ramp. This is extremely important to have because this is where there's a new liquidity coming into the token, so the value can go up. All right, it's extremely important to know. I'm not going to read everything on this. Just understand there will be a Web3 development. There will have more. The Explore will get developed because the Explore at the moment is boring to look at. Not gonna lie, it is really boring. So this is going to be getting more beautiful. Their mission is to decentralize and blah blah blah. This is just kind of some kind of text I don't care about, right? So mostly is the technology behind the fundamentals important. But I am mostly 70% a trader, all right, not a fundamentalist. But reading the fundamentals that they're not giving on the project, they still have a team, they're still working on these kind of things in 2022. That is making me more confident about the team and the project. Now, I was talking about there was some red flags. The one red flag is I have looking some interviews with Sean. I'm trying to contact him to do an interview with me because I will be honest with him and ask some tough questions, but he's not reaching back to me, so it's hard to reach him. But there are some red flags about the team. Why are they anonymous? Why are they not doxed, right? About the agenda, about that he's trying to protect the team. That I don't jump on that agenda or the narrative at all. And there's some other teams that they have postponed and so on. That's not looking good, right? Let's just be frankly honest. These kind of questions we need to have from the developers. We kind of need to ask these questions. So is not on their platform, they're saying, you know what, we will do like this, but the tough questions are coming from the community. All right. So I hope if Sean, if you're seeing this, or if anyone is seeing this, post this to him so he's understand. He's more than welcome to have an interview with me, and I will have some questions from the community to ask these tough questions, because there will be tough questions. Something else which I just forgot to you guys to mention, which is of course important, the long-term perspective, and that is of course the node. The personal node client. They were going to post it about it, and I posted my Twitter as well in December, I believe, or was it November, December, I don't remember. However, they again postponed it because he wants to fundamentally change the way they were doing this node client thing. And that's kind of annoying because they didn't make a time and so on, but I do, in a business point of view, I understand it, because making a date and when they're going to release it make a lot of pressure on a team. But again, I personally hate it as an investor not to know when things are coming out. So at the moment, these are just text, nothing more than that. That is why I'm saying there are some red flags and I need to ask these tough questions to the team. So in a fundamental point of view, the first things are the team needs to be more transparent on what they do. We need an ecosystem which is actually working. All right. We need these information we have in the roadmap, and the team needs to deliver this. All right. Otherwise, these TA will not work. People will get scared off, and of course, we'll have a big price dump. And I don't want to make any fraud. I'm just a TA guy. I'm telling you guys what I'm seeing, and this is of course real important question to ask the team. Yet again, if they are watching it, please reach out to me because I will have an interview to be more transparent with the team. And one thing more, which I have been very keen on, I asked them a month ago, they need someone in the marketing team. Because even though this is a good layer 1 project and so on, if there's no marketing, then forget about the price search. This needs to get exposure to other people and blockchains and so on. If people have never heard of MultiVAC, who will buy it then, right? At the moment, it is not on big exchanges. It is on KuCoin and the DeFi exchanges, but nothing more than that. We need more volume. We need more exposure. That is why I'm saying we need a marketing team to deliver this, because it's been really bad so far. The marketing is bad. The way they're doing things, they're not that transparent, which is bad. And these are real questions the community is asking for. We need them to answer these questions. All right. Remember, we are investors. All right. Not gamblers. So if they are not delivering, of course, we have to take our money out. But so far, they are delivering slowly. I do believe in the project so far, but there are red flags coming up, which I do not like. I remember this clearly day one in 2017 when other project did the same thing and they just closed the same goddamn thing. I remember a project called OCN, which was a friend of Justin's son. He just ran with the money. And I'm not saying that Sean would run with the money, but I remembered clearly from day one. So these kind of things can happen. That is why we need to hold the people in charge accountability for these kind of things. And that's why I also actually don't want to do an interview with Sean. So again, Sean, if I believe I said the 4th time or 3rd time now, if you're watching this, reach out to me. I have tried to reach out, but you are kind of not responding. So we can have an interview. Let's jump to the altcoin season index. Now, where are we? Are we in an altcoin season as most big influencers, not trader influencers, saying we are in altcoin season and all that? I believe no, and the index are also saying no. We are more closer to a Bitcoin season than an altcoin season. I mean, if we just scroll down right there and see the top 15 performance over the last 19 days, we see waves with 100%. That is 19 days, right? And that there are few projects which are delivering, and there's not even a lot, 10%, 22% over the past 19 days. That is pretty great gains. But compared to an altcoin season or a bull market, that's nothing, all right? And the other project, which the last 40 projects are just not delivering at all. I mean, just look at the Solana had lost half of its value. If TM lost, I mean, just look at this project. So whoever's saying that we're in altcoin season are probably just lying to you, just trying to make you a furious state. It is not facts, it's not true, and I hate people who are saying this. Well, not hate is a strong word, but I dislike the people who are saying this. They're only doing this to get views, all right, guys? Nothing more. So we are not in altcoin season, but when we get to an altcoin season, all right, that is where MultiVAC and other altcoins will shine like hell. I just remember clearly when we won proper altcoin season. I mean, my portfolio just 100x itself in a few weeks, was just insane. So it can happen, but at the moment we are closer to a Bitcoin season than an altcoin season. Fear and greed index. We are at 30 with this fear, and yesterday we were still fear. Last week and last month we were at extreme fear. This indicator is awesome to use. I use this a lot, especially when everything is in a inferior state and when a lot of people are greedy. That is where I sell small amount of my portfolio. This is also an indicator that tell me why the market is in a inferior state. We are getting way over hyped at the moment. We're in a small bubble. I need to take some profit, because if I don't realize my money, and that's just paper money, all right? That's just my opinion. You do you, I do me, all right? I'm a trader after all. If you look at the market at the moment, we are in a fear mode. That usually means that the price will go lower down. Of course, when things in a downtrend, people are angry, they're in a depression and all these kind of things, they will just sell off, and of course the value of this token will go down with it. This is also, in my opinion, the best way to buy, because if you have risk management and you use TCA, dollar cost average, probably you can actually create amount, if the great project, great amount of profit when we are getting greedy and getting this green candlestick, right? When everything is inferior state yet again. So fear is where you buy and greed is where you sell. And at the moment we are in fear. All right, guys. Now let's take a fast look at the dominance of the stablecoin, Bitcoin, Altcoin, Ethereum, and so on. This chart you guys are seeing, I added the different dominance to show you how easy you can spot if altcoins are losing value and something like that, right? So let me explain you. If you look at the Bitcoin dominance, now what does that mean? When things are going up, right? When the price of Bitcoin the dominance Bitcoin is going up, usually the altcoins dominance and Ethereum dominance is going down. Now what does that mean? That usually just mean that Bitcoin is outperforming the altcoins. That doesn't necessarily mean that the altcoins are going down. It just means that Bitcoin is going way faster up and outperforming in percentage-wise altcoins. Now altcoins, if Bitcoin, however, goes down instead, right? If Bitcoin's dominance goes down, the altcoins and Ethereum dominance will go up. That means, well, the reversal. That means the altcoins are outperforming Bitcoin in price, all right? So they are outperforming 2%, 3%, I don't know how much they're outperforming, they're about just outperforming Bitcoin. And this is a great indicator to use. I made this extremely simple to use. And if you look at the stablecoin, if the stablecoin goes up, well, that means that altcoins and Bitcoins are converted to stablecoins, so the stablecoin dominance goes up. Extremely simple to use and to understand, hopefully to understand. All right. So what we are seeing at the moment is Bitcoins are building this tension. They are making this rising wedge. That usually mean that we have some kind of a downside for dominance of Bitcoin and a upside for altcoins. That means that the altcoins have a moment to shine over Bitcoin and outperform Bitcoin in price. All right, so that is also matching up what we're talking about. We might see some kind of price action because we are oversold, and we might see a fast price speak before we go down again. And a lot of people will just say, "Yo, we're going to the moon," and so on. I don't believe that. I do believe, however, we will go to the accumulation area as I was talking about before, in weeks before we see great gains ahead of us. Thank you for watching, guys. If you enjoy my content, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit the alert button, join our free Telegram group, guys. Everything what I do is for free, so please do not believe any scammers out there will never ever ask you for any money. Anyway, guys, see you in the Telegram group.